I can stack them hundreds to the roof. I ain't stopping till they stack to the moon. Without me, my family wouldn't have food. Anybody go against me gotta lose.
What is up, guys? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm Andy. I'm your host, and I am the motherfucking CEO, and this is Thursday Thunder. If you know what Thursday Thunder is, you know what that is. If you're new, you fucking don't. All right? On Tuesdays, we have longer podcasts. On Thursdays, we have Thursday Thunder, which, as I mentioned, is what I'm about to get into. Now, if you're new, first off, welcome. As long as you're not a pussy. Now that we got that out of the way, we are an entrepreneurship, success, personal development podcast. We are in the business category of iTunes, but what we talk about encompasses far more than just business. Okay, will the information that you learn here help you make more money? Fuck yes. Will the information here help you become more confident, more successful, and feel better about your entire life, including more fulfilled in every single area? Absolutely. So to say that we are a business podcast would be massively misleading, because the truth is, to be successful, it's not just about money, but to be successful, it is about money. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things, mostly in the context of making fucking money, but you will be able to extrapolate these skills and techniques and ideas and put them into other areas of life. Okay, most of you are great at something in life, and you're confused when you look around at other areas of your life as to why I suck at this. Like, you might be in great fucking shape, but you might have $27 in your bank account. Well, the reason that you have $27 in your bank account is because you haven't been able to apply the techniques that have made you successful in the area of fitness over to business. All right? We talk a lot about this, but the point of me bringing this up to you is that all of you have what it takes to succeed. It is not a magical thing. Okay? If you're good at something, if you've ever been good at something, you have what it takes to be successful in any area. All right? Now, one thing that's different about this podcast is that we don't run ads. All right? I could make easily 7 figures running ads on this podcast for the first 10 minutes and make you guys fucking listen, but I don't, because I make a lot of fucking money doing other shit. I'm actually successful. I'm not pretend successful when it comes to finances, like most of Instagram. But here's the thing. I do this because I was lucky in one area of my life. Very lucky. And I don't use luck very often, but the area that I was lucky in was the fact that I was born to a father who was an entrepreneur and understood how to instill and teach and show me things from a very young age. Okay? Now, was I given the silver spoon? Absolutely not. Did I have my dad give me a bunch of money? No. He didn't give me shit. But he did give me advice. And that advice has helped me become tremendously successful in business. And my goal with this podcast is to help you guys, because I know you weren't all as fortunate as I was, to learn the things that make up success in reality, not in the idealistic society, which our parents, our teachers, our news, and all the do-gooders at society are trying to tell everybody, which are things like this. Everybody should get a trophy. Everybody's special. The world really cares about you. The world thinks you're great, okay? I don't give a fuck if you think you're great. The world doesn't give a fuck if you think you're great. Should you think you're great? I don't know. Have you done great shit? Okay? So we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but the mission of this podcast and the reason that it's called a project is because it is my mission to help reverse 2 decades of bad parenting strategies and help young adults realize what it takes to be successful. I'm committed to this cause. I have a set of children's books that you can purchase on Amazon or my website, andyfrisella.com, that will help you start your children out the right way. And no, they don't say fuck and motherfucker and all this other language in them, even though I know some of you wish they did. They don't. We were talking about coming out with a special edition of actual cursing edition of the children's books that you could read to them when they were like too young to understand what it meant, but whatever. Maybe that's coming down the road. But the point is I'm committed to this mission. And that's why I don't fucking have a bunch of ads that I jam down your throat. And I'm not constantly selling bullshit programs about how to get rich. All right. So my fee for you in trade for the information that I give you is that you tell somebody about our podcast. You could do that through a post. You could do it in person. I don't care. We're an organic movement, and I rely on your guys' word of mouth. And I greatly appreciate that if you get something out of an episode, that you tell somebody about that episode and ask them to subscribe to the podcast. And if you love an episode, I would also ask that you review it on iTunes and give me that 5-star rating. So with that being said, like I said, today is Thursday Thunder, and I have a very important concept. We talk a lot about winning and success and how success comes about. And most people look at success as this magical thing. They look at success as this thing that happens to some people and doesn't happen to other people. And they find excuses in society, in their thinking, in their day-to-day life that are evidence of this thinking. When they look at someone who is wealthy, they say, well, he must have got lucky, or his parents must have gave him money, or he must have had a rich uncle in Nigeria that gave him $3 million, okay? We tell ourselves all these stories. He was in the right place at the right time, blah, blah, blah. We make up these stories that lend credibility to what we already think, that it's magical. But it's not magical. And I've dedicated a big portion of my life, not just building my own success, but becoming a student of the process. And it's something I'm very passionate about. It's something that I really love about being able to do this podcast, is to share with you guys what I've been able to dissect, not just in my own life, but from knowing all these other successful people. Okay, so when we talk about success, a lot of people talk about money. A lot of people talk about, cars and boats and fucking hoes and all this other shit, right? They talk about all this crazy rapper shit. And you know what? If that's what motivates you, that's okay. But that's not success. I define success very specifically. And how I define success is this. It's the pursuit of fulfillment of your own true potential. What does that mean? That means that it's a constantly moving target. That means that as you approach your goal, you are resetting your goal to a higher standard, because during the process of achieving your first goal, you have learned new skills. Your Swiss Army knife of skills to win has added a few new tools. And what does that mean? That means that your potential has now expanded, which means the goal that was your goal a year ago, because you're 90% there now, is now further down the road. And so many people miss that point. And so when you commit to fulfilling your own true potential, you are in fact saying, I will never fulfill my own true potential. But you're also accepting the fact that you're going to live your most fulfilled life because you're utilizing the potential you're creating through the process. All right? So when we talk about fulfilling your own true potential, it sounds cool, it sounds badass, it sounds morally right. Like, it sounds a lot cooler than like, oh, I want to make $1 billion, or oh, I want to drive a fucking Lambo. It sounds moral, like, oh, I want to fulfill my own true potential. It sounds like something somebody would say at some boring fucking success summit. All right. Why wouldn't someone want to go all in on that? Why wouldn't someone want to jump in on that? Why wouldn't someone want to do everything they could to fulfill their own true potential? I'll tell you why. Because the actual pursuit of success begins with a principle that is so uncool and so unsexy, but so absolutely indispensable that people don't believe it's the actual key to success. It sounds absurd. Every time I talk about this, everybody's like, yeah, Andy, but what's the real success? So brace yourself for this life-changing idea. Here it is. You have to master the monotonous. What is the monotonous? It's the boring shit. It's the everyday shit. It's the regular shit. It's the shit that you do every day that 99% of you motherfuckers think doesn't matter. You've got to master the monotonous in order to become the ruler of your routine. It's the people who rule their routine, who lock in and day out and do everything they can with pride and do everything they can with care and do everything they can to the best of their abilities. Not the whiny crybaby, I'm doing my best. I mean maximizing their best. Those are the people who become successful. And guess what? That's hard. Because it's not always fun, and it is boring. And because it's boring, it causes us to lose the focus that we need to win the fucking day. There's no other proven process for producing exceptional results. And guess what? This process is guaranteed. You want a guarantee to success? This is the only fucking way there is, okay? You have to master the day to day, okay? And we talk about this on episode 107. If you want a more in-depth understanding of the technique, listen to 107 after you listen to this, all right? But here's the thing. Most people, 99% of the world, all the average motherfuckers, they think of success like this. They think of it like a movie montage, all right? And you know what a montage is? You probably don't, all right? But it's a series of quick scenes. You've seen it a million times that are in a movie that are meant to sum up a huge span of time, all right? Like everybody here's seen Rocky IV for the most part. If you haven't seen Rocky IV, fucking unsubscribe from my podcast because I don't even fucking want you, all right? It's an awesome movie, but it's not reality. What do they show? They show Rocky taking a fight. They show Rocky flying to Russia. They show Rocky running in the snow. And all the while, this amazing motivational music's playing, right? It's an iconic scene. They show him in the shed, like lifting some fucking rocks and like bench pressing sheep over his fucking head and all kinds of crazy shit. Running around in these furry boots, you know, looking all manly with a fucking beard. And then they show him, and he's got a beard, right? And why do they show the beard? Because they're trying to show that he's doing this shit every day. But most people don't look at success like that. They don't say, oh, look, Rocky was training day in and day out for 2 fucking months and he grew a beard. They miss that point. They look at it like he went out one day and trained once, ran once, bench pressed the fucking sheep once, ate some motherfucking food by the fire, talked some shit with his coach, and went out and beat the shit out of fucking Drago, which isn't the case. It's never the case. But that's how people look at success. They look at it like you do a few things. I fucking ate right for 3 days. Why am I not a fucking fitness model? I did my tasks that I needed to do. I sent 5 emails. I called 10 people. Why am I not running a $10 million company? Because they don't understand what mastering the monotonous means. It means doing the shit that most people are too fucking undisciplined to do day in and day out with perfection. Doing it better than everybody else. Doing it to the best of your ability. And continuously expanding that ability so that you can continuously do a better job. So what does it really mean to master the monotonous? Here's what it means. I'm going to give you 3 fucking points that you need to do to master the monotonous. All right? And this will help you because, dude, I know this shit is boring. I know the everyday regular shit sucks. I know that I get tired of doing the same fucking thing every day. But you know what? When I do the same fucking thing every day, I still do it with perfection regardless of how I feel. And that's discipline. That's not motivation, by the way. I'm disciplined because I know what the fuck it's going to mean to me down the road. All right? And that's the first point. You have to literally visualize the connection between what you're doing on a day-by-day basis, aka the monotonous, with what you're wanting. What do you want yourself to look like 10 years from now? What do you want your bank account to look like? What do you want to look like physically 6 months from now or a year from now? You have to connect the dots. You have to remind yourself that these little things that you do are going to lead to the big things. Are you going to put that extra bite of fucking peanut butter in your mouth or are you not? Are you going to do your workout or are you not? Are you going to do your cardio or are you not? And you need to learn to tie these things into where you want to be. All right? So visualize the connection between what you're doing with what you're wanting. All right? Point number 2. This is a huge deal. You need to make it an issue of pride and competition for you. All these little things that you do during the day, I don't care what you do. You have to make it an opportunity to win, and not just win, but dominate. And that doesn't mean that what you're doing on a daily basis doesn't matter. It means it matters a lot. Like if you have to go clean the fucking bathrooms and there's 3 guys in your company that clean the bathrooms, your goal should be to dominate them at cleaning the bathrooms. And you're thinking right now, oh, well, the cleaning that bathroom doesn't fucking matter, is why you're cleaning bathrooms in the fucking first place. Because I'm going to tell you something. Developing the habit of doing the best that you can, day in and day out, and dominating everybody at everything you fucking do, including cleaning the bathroom, is going to lead to a habit of doing the best that you fucking can at everything. And guess what's going to happen with that habit? It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter what position you are. It doesn't matter what company you work for. It doesn't matter what you do or who the fuck you are. There is a place for people that dominate at everything they do in a high earner income bracket. You will find your way if you cultivate that habit. So make it an issue of pride. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it better than anyone. If I have to sweep the floor, I'm going to be able to eat off the motherfucker after I sweep it. If I'm going to clean the bathroom, I'm going to make the other guys look like they didn't even fucking do it. That's how clean it's going to be. All right? So the second point, make it an issue of pride and competition with yourself. All right? And the third point is this. Take a look back every now and then and see where all the little monotonous things that you have done over the course of the last 6 months, 3 months, year, to 5 years have gotten you. If you've lost 40 fucking pounds in 6 months by cleaning up and taking pride in your diet and your workout and your routine with that, and you've mastered the monotony of not wanting to get up every day and fucking work out, but doing it anyway and doing it great, guess what? You're going to understand what mastering the monotonous can do for you. All right? So you've got to pay attention to the results that it's creating, because if you don't pay attention to the results it's creating, guess what you're going to think? You're going to think like every other motherfucker out there that thinks it's fucking magic. All right? This is about you winning your fucking day and mastering the shit that most people think doesn't matter. All right? And also, it's about retraining your brain to understand that this is not magic. This is a fucking process that we learn of discipline and execution and pride and competition with ourselves. That's what success really is. And if you want to fulfill your own true potential and make $1 billion fucking dollars or $100,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, if you want to go out and build whatever kind of life you want, okay, you're going to have to master the monotonous if you don't want your life dictated to you. If you want your life dictated to you, guess what? There's plenty of opportunity for that too. And if that's you, this isn't the fucking show for you. This isn't the place for you. This isn't the fucking movement for you. But if you want to dictate the life on your terms, if you want to dictate the success that you're going to create, and if you're ambitious to the point where you're not satisfied with living the status quo bullshit that most of America lives, you've got to learn to master the shit that everybody else thinks is irrelevant.